Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned professional, maintaining squareness is crucial when building, especially with woodworking and construction. It ensures proper fit, structural integrity, and the overall appearance of the project. If pieces aren't square from the beginning, it will only get worse as you proceed further with your project. So whether you're framing a wall or building a deck or pouring a concrete pad or just building a cabinet, you want it accurate and square. Now these are three basic tools that people use to make sure things are square and accurate. You've got your framing square, a speed square, or maybe you've got a laser level. But what if you don't have these three tools? Your framing square and your speed square or a laser level. And you need a perfect 90-degree corner. What do? Well, today I'm going to show you 6 ways to make a perfect 90-degree angle using just a tape measure, a ruler, and a pencil. That's right. And if you stick around to the end, I've got a bonus method that uses only a tape measure, a nail, and a pencil. You don't want to miss that. So the first way is simply to use a factory edge. And that can be, depending on the size of your project, something as small as a piece of paper that always has a perfect 90-degree angle. You can take it and just transfer it to your page or transfer it to the floor where you're working at. And this way you always have a perfect 90-degree angle. And depending on your project, you can go larger with poster board or use a factory sheet of plywood, which will have a perfect factory edge on it at a 90-degree angle. Okay, so method number 2 is called the 3-4-5 method. And this is an old carpenter's trick. And it works perfectly with just tape measures. But what I did, I put it on a board here so you can see it visually. The 3-4-5 rule, it's a method used in construction and other applications to determine if an angle is a right angle or 90 degrees. It's based on the Pythagorean theorem, and it states that if the sides of a triangle measure 3, 4, and 5 units, like this one here, and I'll show you how to measure this out, then the triangle would be a right triangle. So the way we do the 3-4-5 method is we start at one corner. We're going to make, here's our corner, and we're going to do this in units of 4. So 3 times 4, 12 inches. So we'll put this up at 12 inches, and we'll put a mark right here. And then on our 4, units of 4, 4 times 4 is 16. So we'll hold it to corner, put our mark where the 16 is, and then this, from here to here, in order to be a perfect 90-degree angle, has to equal 20. The 5 times the 4 units is 20. Just like this, how they meet. And let's use a tape measure to check it. So we'll hold the corner of our tape measure at this point, and we'll come up here and check. And right where it goes from here, right where the 20-inch mark hits, that's our 3-4-5. And let's check it. We'll hold these tight. We'll check it with a square. And there it is, a perfect 90-degree angle. Okay, so the number 3 method is called the diagonal check on a frame. And what this is, if we're building a frame, this could even be a picture frame, it can be a drawer, a cabinet, or it could be the framing of a deck. And the way you want to check to see if this is perfectly square is you measure from one corner to the other corner, and this corner to this corner, and they both have to be the same exact measurement. So let's try it out. if we hold it here, we've got 26 inches. We hold it this corner, 26 inches. So that would be a perfect square. Now let's try to put it off a little bit and I'll show you the difference. If it's off like this, when you measure, this is 26 and a half. This is 25 and a half. So that's an inch difference. So what that tells me, an easy way to figure that out, it has to go, since it's an inch difference, half inch both ways, you got to move it a half inch over. So let's move it over a little bit until we hit the 26 mark. There's 26. We'll check one more time in case anything moved. And 26. Let's make sure it's square. There it is. A perfect square by using a corner to corner method. This is used often if you're doing any type of woodworking or carpentry. So this next one is called the level and vertical line method. And what you can do, it's not used real often, but it's a good one to know. You can take a board or a piece of paper, tape it to the wall, or put the board up against the wall, and by using just a level and a pencil or a marker, you want to put your level on here until obviously your bubble's in the center, and then draw your line. And then bring your level here till it's plumb, straight up and down. Put the bubble in the center again. Draw your line. And after you've done that, you can take the board, put it on the ground if you're building a cabinet or what you're doing, and you can see that you've drawn a perfect 90-degree angle by using this method. Now this next method is a lot of fun also. It's called lines of symmetry, and what it is you can take a ruler, a straight edge. Maybe you don't have that. Maybe all you have is your tape measure, but you need something to draw two straight lines. So we can take our tape measure, pull it out, and lock it in. And since our tape measure is curved, what I like to do is turn it upside down, bend it a little bit, and just hold it there, and it makes for a great straight edge. And just draw a line here. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to draw our line, a vertical line, and now we're going to do a horizontal. This one doesn't even have to be exactly straight. So let's just do it at an angle like this and see if it makes a difference. We'll hold our tape measure down, draw a line. Now what we're going to do on this center point right here, we're going to measure equal measurements up on each line and put a mark. So let's use our tape measure again. Let's go up 5 inches. So we'll start at 10, go back down to 5. 5 inches. 10 to 15 is 5 inches. Now we'll go both ways again. At 10, 5 inches. 10 to 15 is 5 inches. So now we've got our 4 marks, and all we do is we connect the marks. Let's flip our tape upside down again. Make sure you're right where the mark intersects the line. Draw your line. Let's come to the other side. Let's draw another line. Now let's do it this way. from the mark. And our last one. You can see where this is going already. Now you've got 4 90-degree angles. Let's check it. Look at that, perfect. And if you're going to use this for your building, just take it and extend your lines. Extend them out to where you have to go to. And then you can use this for your 90-degree angle and build off from that. Okay, so for number 6, this is called arcing with a tape measure. And what we're going to do, it works off of the 3, 4, 5 method. So we're just going to take a straight edge or a ruler or something, the tape upside down, you can use that. We're going to draw a line. Then we're going to measure. We'll use this as our 4 side. Our 3, 4, and this will be our 5. So we're going to measure from this point here. Let's go in units of 2. So 4 times 2, that's 8. And once we have these points here, we'll use our tape measure. And this 3 times 2 is going to be 6. So we'll take a tape measure and we'll bring it to the number 6 and we'll lock it in. Then we're going to hold the end of the tape measure right on this point. Bring it past here a little bit, hold it tight, and we're going to put our pencil right where that number 6 is. And you're just going to draw a nice little arc like this. On this one, we're going to do the 5 times 2 is 10. So we'll move this to our 10-inch mark. Lock it in. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to hold it exactly on that point. Bring our tape, hold it, the pencil where the tape measure is at the 10 mark, and bring it by. We made the arc. So right here, we're going to draw a line from here to here, and from here to here, and that is going to be our 3, 4, 5. So let's check it with, and there you have your perfect 90-degree angle. Okay, so this is our bonus one, and we're going to make the 90-degree angle using a nail, a pencil, and a tape measure. So I just took a scrap piece of board. You can do this on a floor if you want to. Just give yourself some room. Take a nail and drive it in. Make sure it's solid and doesn't move around. You can also use a screw as long as you keep enough room for your tape measure to hook on the bottom of it. Then we're going to take our tape measure, bring it out a little bit, lock it in, hook it onto the nail, and then we're going to hold our pencil up against there, keeping tension against it. And just keep bringing it around. Switch hands if you have to. So now that we have our circle, let's pull our nail out of here. Now that we have our circle and we know the center of it, all we have to do is bring our tape measure out again. We're going to use this as a straight edge. Flip it upside down. And you're going to draw a line all the way across this circle. It doesn't have to be exactly here. It can be to the side here a little bit. But draw your line intersecting that center point. So take your pencil, come across, just like this. Now, anywhere on either side of this line, you can draw a point, and we're going to make our 90-degree triangle. We're going to do two different areas. This one we're going to do right here, and this one, let's just say right over here, right here. Then all we do is we take that point from where our center line crosses the circle, and where we drew our point, you're going to hold it here. Draw a line. You're going to bring it here. Draw a line. And that is a perfect 90-degree angle. And the other side the same way. We put our point here. Let's take and draw a line to here, right where it intersects the circle. And then from here to here, from our point to where the line crosses the circle. So let's check it. There you go, a perfect 90-degree angle. Extend your lines and use that for building whatever you're building. Well, I hope you found these methods helpful to you. In case you don't have your speed square, your framing square, or laser level. And if you did find this helpful, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. These tips make DIY processes much easier, cheaper, and more accurate, just the way we like it. Check the description below for any tool links or my Amazon storefront with the gear I personally use on projects just like this. And drop a comment. What's your favorite method for squaring up corners without any fancy tools? So thanks for watching. You take care and God bless.